alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Ay, I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shine in the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath was a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue, I'm making pigs fly, now I move mountains. I would've beaten the heart of a crash test dummy, I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I do the impossible, impossible. Impossible, impossible.
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping and track out with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it open. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just rub the jersey. It's the first half and we done dropped 30. We just up to scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with the bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I'm turning my vision. You young, she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play, I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly, I turn it at hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights, I'm shining so bright. This visor to cover my face. You see me working and working, I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes. Let's go.
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. They screaming my name when I walk in the building. Yellow diamonds on me like I play for the Steelers. I'm in the field, yup, just like a Steeler. Oh, this your girl, my band had the Steeler. I hop on the beat and I float like a real. I caught a TD, yeah, right across the middle. I'm speaking facts, boy, you telling riddles. Can't hang with the gang, so we had to sit them down.
I'm in LA riding around in the Rams. My dog just called, say he finna touchdown. When I call a play, you won't hear a sound. Hold up, money caller right now. I gotta go and get it, and it don't matter how. All I know is, man, yeah, I'm 10 toes down. I keep my head high and my eyes on the prize. Yeah, my feet on the ground. Let's go. Let's go.
I told my boys, it ain't no limits.
No.
Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Two turned up, turned down right now. Two don't make bad to get around right now. Two turned up, turned down right now. Two don't make bad to get around right now. Yeah. Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. This one fielded at the 5. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But, man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles. They're good. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Burks. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. This is intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Hurts throw into the hands of Fant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Hurts to throw. Going right back to Fant. He's got room at the 30. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Looking to throw. Burks. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Burks is going to fire one deep over the middle. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate. Well, these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here we go.
Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Sanders again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 21-0 our score after 1.
First quarter with the score Eagles 21, Cowboys 0.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Hurts. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Credit that sack to Travis Jones. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off play action. Burks. Complete to right.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And some space here. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Burks. Wright's got it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Back to throw. Burks. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
That's taken on the 25. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 68 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way. They could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On 1st and 10, Burks. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. And now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Lutz good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Now back to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. He's going deep for Brown.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Off the play fake. Burks. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing to trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Burks. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. I want to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. but you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on, but it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers...
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To throw on third down, Burks. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs. Sure. just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Let's go now.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. His throw incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. They'll look to throw again. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. On the return, this is Haney. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Off play action. Burks steps away. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Burks. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. Ready. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Hurts throw into the hands of Fan. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Gravity Ranger.
On 1st down, Hurts. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards. Here's Hurts to throw.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Elliott going to get it again on second down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And this offense on third down today, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Burks. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Burks.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's got to read.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Micah Parsons giving him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts.
And this one is no good. He missed it. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and 2, Burks. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
A loss of 10 yards brings up 4th down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Dancing to his left. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts going deep here for Watkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Okay,
after an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Throwing is Hurts.
This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
On the jump. Fix the Eagles. Fix the Eagles.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders down at the 25.
Let's go now.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This from 42 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, Burks. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And he missed it. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to lose either way, but the game ends strangely on a missed PAT. Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit her, live in the moon, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds in the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shine in the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue, I'm making pigs fly, and I move mountains. I would've beaten the heart of a crash test dummy. I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I do the impossible, impossible. Impossible, impossible.
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
I'm whipping in track out with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it over. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just real the jersey. It's the first half, and we done dropped 30. We just up to scoring them, boy, man.
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with them bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I tell her my vision. You young and she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it up hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. This visor will cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes. Let's go.
I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head
They
in the game.
screaming my name when I walk in the building. Yellow diamonds on me like I play for the Steelers. I'm in the field, yup, just like a Steeler. Oh, this your girl, my band had the Steeler. I hop on the beat and I float like a real. I caught a TD, yeah, right.